What up, YouTube? Just rolling around a little bit, but today is one of them days that just sucks. You know what I'm saying? Not like it sucks real bad, because you have different levels of suckiness for days. But today is a day that kind of sucks. You know, basically, things are more interesting on the financial side. You understand? Not detrimental or critical, but other than that, I went to a bagel shop, and this is in addition to the other stuff. And the place I went to, to get a bagel, because I like to get a bagel sandwich, which is, they have really good bagel sandwiches. But ironically, guess what? I miss the ability to get a bagel sandwich by like 5 minutes. So if I would have been there 5 minutes earlier, I'd have been cool. You know what I'm saying? I was still able to get a bagel, but not the one I wanted, But life just seems like it sometimes, and it kind of reminds me of in the Bible where I think one particular time, who was it? Jonah. Jonah was, chilling out. Of course, he didn't want to do what God wanted him to do, and so he went, and God told him to go right. He went left, got on a boat. God was like, I don't want you to do that. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna put you in the belly of a fish. And he was like, dog, it's not cool. And then he's like, you know what, God, you're right. I'm gonna do what you said. And then he went over to Nineveh and, do what God told him to do, which was to preach to people who were ignorant about a lot of things in life. And God was just showing his grace and trying to, just to give them something, give them a chance to do better and do right, And during the course of that, there was a situation where God had caused like some type of weed or something like that to grow up and then give him shade. And he was like, oh man, that's nice. Ooh, yes. And then God caused it to die. And when he caused it to die, the sun started beating down on his head again. He was like, no, I want to die. And so it just amazing how we can get in situations that are not necessarily that bad, but they just are a culmination of different issues. And we just feel like giving up at that point in time, And we used to hear a saying a lot of times where they said, don't make a permanent decision over a temporary situation, And so I'll just encourage you that even though we go through bad days and we have bad, stupid things happen, and just life in general happens, because, there's no such thing as perfection all the time. We can just be thankful of the days that we have that are really, really good. And then on the days that are not so good, like today, at least for me, you know what I'm saying? I would just say give yourself like a tiny victory, go buy yourself some Starbucks, your favorite coffee at Starbucks if you can, afford that, or just make yourself coffee that you like, but do something that gives you at least a small victory to kind of knock off or take the edge off of a bad day or a bad situation. Because sometimes you got to really just encourage yourself and give yourself a reason to go forward. Give yourself at least one reason to smile today. You know what I'm saying? Even if everything is going stupid, give yourself at least one reason to smile today. You know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, I woke up this morning. Oh, you know what? I was able to get coffee today. Okay, I was able to get Starbucks today. Oh man, I got a Big Mac today. I was able to get something on the dollar meal today, but find something in your life, to give yourself that little bit of a encouragement that the whole day isn't bad. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself, I had a bad day except somebody complimented me on my shoes. I had a bad day today. It was the worst day ever, but I was able to get coffee. You know, give yourself a good butt, you know, when you have a bad situation. And hopefully this will be something to kind of encourage you, because you know I'm an older guy, and you know I don't think of myself as an older guy, but you know there's fairy tales otherwise. But even as young people, you gotta know how to encourage yourself. You gotta know how to look at things, look at the good or the positive side. You know, it's like the glass. Some people look at the glass half empty. Other people look at the glass half full. You know, but you want to be able to give yourself some type of encouragement to be able to move forward. Don't just look at the bad stuff. It's really easy to look at the bad stuff, because the bad stuff has so much of a grasp on us that we're likely to hold on to something negative before we hold on to something positive. So if you're having a bad day, give yourself a butt. Go find a good YouTube video with a chihuahua barking at a big dog, and all of a sudden the door opens and the chihuahua's like, oh my God, this is not good. But do something, to make yourself happy, not at the expense of other people though. But just think about it. That bad situation is usually going to be temporary, and temporary could be years, all right? But the thing is part of life is learning how to overcome bad and rough situations, all right? So be encouraged, and I hope you guys have a great day or a great rest of your day, and find that butt.